Steven, you gotta give me control. It's the only way. How come I'm gonna die? You're gonna die. Steven, I'm gonna die. Look at me. You're not gonna die.
Welcome back to Binge Point, where we take a closer look at the movies and shows that didn't get the attention they truly deserve. And today, we're talking about one of Marvel's most ambitious, emotionally charged, and criminally underrated series, Moon Knight. When it premiered on Disney Plus, it didn't make the cultural waves of WandaVision or Loki, but that doesn't mean it didn't deserve to. In fact, Moon Knight might just be one of the most daring and mature stories Marvel has ever told. A series that goes beyond capes and quips to explore the darkest corners of identity, trauma, and belief. Let's start with what makes Moon Knight so unique in the MCU. Its complete independence. Unlike most Marvel shows that rely heavily on crossovers, Easter eggs, and shared universe connections, Moon Knight stands entirely on its own. There's no Tony Stark, no multiverse shenanigans, no guest appearances from familiar heroes to anchor it. Instead, we're given a character-driven, self-contained story that focuses purely on one man's internal struggle. And that's what makes it so powerful. The show doesn't need the larger MCU to validate it. It exists perfectly as its own psychological odyssey.
Then rise, as my fist of vengeance, as my Moon Knight.
Oscar Isaac's performance is, without question, the backbone of the series. His portrayal of both Stephen Grant and Mark Spector, two distinct identities sharing the same body, is nothing short of phenomenal. He doesn't just switch accents, he transforms entirely, embodying two completely different men with separate demeanors, postures, and emotional depths. Watching him interact with himself, arguing, comforting, and even fighting his own reflection, feels like witnessing a masterclass in acting. It's rare to see a superhero story so deeply rooted in character work, and Isaac brings humanity, humor, and heartbreak to every scene. But Moon Knight is more than a showcase for great acting. It's a psychological exploration wrapped in mythological mystery. The series dives deep into the concept of dissociative identity disorder, DID, using it not as a gimmick, but as the emotional core of its story. Through Mark and Steven's fractured perspectives, we witness how trauma can literally split a person apart. The show treats this condition with surprising sensitivity, showing the disorder not as something that defines the character, but as something born from pain, a survival mechanism rather than a weakness.
Do it for me.
Then there's the mythology. Another reason Moon Knight stands out from the rest of the MCU. Egyptian gods, ancient relics, and cosmic justice all play central roles, blending supernatural fantasy with archaeological adventure. It's a setting that feels more Indiana Jones than Iron Man, giving Marvel fans something visually and thematically fresh. The use of Khonshu, the moon god who manipulates Mark into becoming his avatar, adds layers of moral complexity. Is Khonshu a divine protector or a manipulative abuser? The answer changes depending on which of Mark's personalities is in control, and that ambiguity makes the series fascinating.
Meet my friend, Jake Lockley.
Visually, Moon Knight is among Marvel's most beautiful projects. The cinematography captures a haunting mix of moonlit streets, desert vistas, and surreal dreamscapes. The fight sequences are brutal yet stylish, with a real sense of weight and intensity. But the real showstopper comes in Episode 5, Asylum, arguably one of the best episodes in all of Marvel television. It strips away the superhero facade completely, forcing Mark and Steven to confront their shared past and uncover the trauma that split them apart. It's raw, emotional, and deeply tragic, a story about grief, guilt, and forgiveness. In that episode, Moon Knight transcends its genre, becoming less about heroes and villains and more about human healing.
The scales are balanced. Your heart is full. Your journey is over.
Of course, not everyone connected with Moon Knight right away. Some viewers found it confusing, slow-paced, or disconnected from the wider MCU, which is exactly why it flew under the radar. It's not designed for quick consumption. It's layered, complex, and sometimes intentionally disorienting. But that's also what makes it rewarding. It's a show that asks for patience and emotional investment, and in return, it gives you a deeply human story that lingers long after the credits roll.
Gotcha!
What's also fascinating is how Moon Knight redefines what it means to be a hero. Mark Spector isn't motivated by glory or revenge. He's fighting for control of his own mind, battling guilt, trauma, and divine manipulation. His struggle isn't about saving the world. It's about saving himself. That's a far more personal and relatable conflict than we usually see in superhero media. And when Steven and Mark finally reconcile, when they realize they're stronger together, it's not just a victory over evil, it's a victory over trauma.
I survived because I knew I wasn't alone. You were always there.
Even the show's ending, often criticized for being abrupt, fits perfectly within its themes. The final twist, introducing Jake Lockley, the third and most dangerous alter, reminds us that healing isn't linear. There are always parts of ourselves we can't fully control or understand. It's a haunting conclusion, one that leaves the door open for deeper exploration while staying true to the show's psychological core.
You would negotiate now? With so much at stake?
Well, we did learn from the best, you silly old bird.
I will release you both. You have my word.
So why is Moon Knight underrated? Because it dared to be different. It refused to follow the formula, to play it safe, or to be instantly digestible. It traded bombastic crossover moments for introspection, emotion, and myth. It gave us a hero defined not by his powers, but by his pain. And in doing so, it carved out a space in the MCU unlike anything else. In a world where superhero fatigue is real, Moon Knight stands out as something rare. A story about identity, faith, and survival, wrapped in the body of a superhero narrative. It's a reminder that the most powerful battles don't happen in the skies above cities. They happen in the quiet corners of the human mind.
No, I'm not good with that.
Wait! Think about this!
So if you missed Moon Knight the first time around, or maybe dropped off after a few episodes, it's absolutely worth another look. It's more than a superhero show. It's a study of the fractured self told through myth, madness, and moonlight.
You are the only real superpower I ever had.
If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and leave a comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts.